My name is Krishnak and welcome to my YouTube channel. So guys, this is the tutorial 3 with respect to MySQL with Python, and in my previous video I had already discussed how you can create databases. First of all, I showed you how to install the library which will actually help Python programming language to connect to MySQL database. Now in this particular video we'll try to create tables, we'll insert records, we'll try to delete tables, and we'll do many CRUD operations. Okay, so to begin with, as I had said, in my previous video, if you really want to connect to any database, first of all you need to import mysql.connector as SQL. Suppose if I take an example, then I'll write connection sql.connect. Host is basically my local host, and if you remember, this is my database over here. If I write show databases, right? So if I execute it, you'll be able to see that I've created so many databases. Krish 1 2 student. So one student database I had actually created. I'll try to use this student database. In order to use it, if you really want to write any query in MySQL, you can just write use student like this and just execute the query, right? So when you execute the query, you can see that you have something over here. And suppose if I say that show tables, okay, inside this, so you will be able to see that how many tables are there. So right now no tables is there. Okay, we will try to create the table in front of you, and this is how you can see in the MySQL workbench. Okay, nothing, because it's a simple query, but again many people are actually confused how we should write the queries inside the Python programming language. That is a major thing, right? So first of all, what I'm going to do is that I will just use import mysql.connector as SQL. I'm going to give mysql.connect. Here, if I really want to use this specific database where I have actually used, I wrote like this, right? Use student, right? So this was my database for which I actually wrote, right? In order to execute this, what I will do is that inside sql.connect, there is one more additional parameter which is called as database. So you give this particular parameter inside this, that is database is equal to student. This is to connect to the SQL server, right? If you really want to connect to a specific database inside that SQL server, you have to use this parameter. That is additional parameter that is called as database is equal to student. How do I know this? I usually refer the documentation. You can refer this particular documentation, MySQL documentation, which is given in an amazing way, right? Please do refer this, guys. Any type of queries that you have, just try to find out the SQL query. How do we use it? And then it is very, very simple to directly execute it inside Python programming language. Okay, so once I execute this, and if I execute this print connection, now you can see that mysql.connector.connection, MySQL connection, this is an object that is created at this particular memory location. That basically means that we have successfully connected to the database student. Okay, now next thing is that obviously we require a table inside this database, right? Without table, how do we insert the records? So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use this connection over here. I'm going to create a cursor. Now what this cursor basically says that whenever you do some kind of operations, right, with respect to that object, how the operation has been basically performed, that cursor will be pointing to that specific thing. I'll try to show you some examples over here. Now see this. Now first of all, how do you create a table in MySQL? Okay, so just go over here. You can see that creating a table is there definitely. So here they have given some examples. You can also execute this show tables in the MySQL itself, right? This whole commands that you see, you can execute it over here. Okay, yes, you can execute it over here, like use show tables. You can execute any kind of command that you actually want. That is pretty much simple. But with respect to Python, how do you do it? Now creating the table basically has this kind of query, right? You can see that, right? Create table pet, where your name is variable character, owner is basically variable character, then you have species as variable character. Now in my case, what I'll do is that I will create the query. I'll create this query similar like this. Okay, but my query, since I've created a student database, I'm going to create a table called as student info. Okay, now you may be thinking, Krish, do we need to compulsory write this as a capital letter? The answer is, guys, no. Okay, you can write all these particular letters in smaller letter also, but why do we write it in capital? Understand one thing, that so that we can specify some information like this. Like in this particular case, I'm going to specify student info, right? This is my table name, right? just to differentiate it, right? I am just writing it in the form of small letters. But at the end of the day, what you'll do is that you'll write create table student info, and here inside this you'll be creating your first ID. Okay, so this ID I will be setting it in the form of int. Remember to put this as auto increment because I want this ID to be a primary key. Okay, so that basically means suppose if I add a record, so the first record when it is added, this ID will be having a value as 1. Okay, then when I put the next record, it will automatically get incremented. That ID will get incremented, then it will become 2. And remember, this is a primary key. Primary key basically means that each and every record is uniquely identified by this particular key. Okay, then inside the student info, I'm also taking 2 more features. One is name and one is subject. Now this varchar of 255, right? What does this basically indicate? That you can write characters, you can write numbers, you can write special characters, I guess. You can, for the subject also, you are mentioning in the form of varchar. So remember one thing, guys. Over here, this whole thing is your query. Okay, this whole thing is your query. You can see that I've written this whole query in double quotes, right? I can also execute this query directly over here. Then also it will create that specific table. Okay, it will also create that specific table if I directly use this particular query. But right now I am trying to use this query to create the table student info. If I really want to execute in the form of Python, I have to use this cursor. Then again I have to write cursor.execute and I have to give the whole query inside this. So once you see this, once I execute this, okay, once I execute this, now if I go and see, I'll write show tables. Okay, I hope I have written it right. So has this got executed? Okay, yes, it is showing the student info table. Now you can see over here the student info table is present over here. Perfect, it has worked absolutely fine. Now in my next statement, what after creating the tables, definitely I need to insert some records or rows, right? So first I will create a query. Again, this will be a query like this. I hope if you are familiar, I think most of the people may have used MySQL in their college days and you may be good at queries, right? So suppose if I write insert into, okay, so this will be my student info name comma subject values as and inside these values I'm giving as %s. This basically denotes a varchar. I can put it in the form of string. Okay, now the first record that I'm actually putting is something like John stats. So John is basically the name, okay, and then stats is basically the subject name. Remember, I don't have to give this ID. If I give this specific ID, from there it will start incrementing, but I really want it to start from 1 itself. Okay, I don't want to change that approach. So my query and my value is ready. After this, I'll say cursor.execute with query comma value. Okay, so this I again have an execute function, but now inside this execute function, since I'm doing an insert statement, I will be giving my query and then I'll be giving my value. Then it will say that after this, I just want to print and say that what is my last row ID after the insertion and actually happened. So if I execute this, now you can see that row inserted is 1. Okay, one row got inserted. Now if I write this command, select star from student info, right? I hope I'm doing the spelling right. Sometimes it happens. So execute all. Right now why it is showing null? Because student info, let me see, I could see some values, I don't know. Okay, let's do one thing. Okay, I think the row has got inserted. Now let me just select this query and run it. Okay, and let me see after fetching whether I'm getting, yes, see, I can see that fetch, but why it is not showing over here? Have I created the correct table? Student info. Okay, let me just do one thing. Let me just cut this. Okay, I really want to connect to a database again. Okay, and probably I will say use. Okay, let me just make it a little bit big. Use student. Okay, so this is the database that I really want to use, and then I'm going to say select star from student info. I don't know why this is not showing. What is the error? Okay. Okay, fine. Execute all. Still, I don't see anything. But over there it is there. Why it is not here? Okay, fine. I'll check it out why it is not coming in that server. But here you can see that what I've done, I have inserted John stats, and after that I have executed select star from student info. Okay, I think I've used student info. Yes. So select star from student info. When I select this and when I use dot fetch all, I will basically be getting all the records from this particular table. Right now I just added John and stats. You can see that the first record is basically your ID. It has got auto incremented, and this ID is primary key. It cannot be same with respect to all the records. Now this is with respect to one record, guys. Suppose I really want to insert many records. Now in this particular case, let me say that this is Krish is in stats. Okay, and then again I'm inserting records like Joe and maths. Now you can see that this is my query. Okay, now values %s and %s. Inside this value I can give in the form of list of tuples. Okay, here I give one tuple like John and stats, but here I'm actually giving Krish, stats, Joe, maths, Ankur, data science, Paul, data science, Vishal, maths, and Krish, data science. So I want to insert this many records. And remember one thing, when I use cursor.execute with query and value, this one insertion has happened. But here in this case, I have many records, right? I have many records. So instead of just using dot execute, I will be using cursor.execute many. Okay, and if you see the definition, probably it will say you that execute the given operation multiple times. Now, how many times it will get executed? The number of times the records are actually present. Okay, so when I do this, row inserted cursor or last row ID. So once I execute this, this has got executed. If I execute this again, select star from student info, and again, when I do select star from student info, this cursor will point to the table of all the records. And then when I do fetch all, one by one, it will display all the records. Okay, now see this. And always you remember you have to use fetch all. Suppose if you really want to use fetch one, okay, that also I'll show you. Now this here you can see that I've got executed everything. Now sometimes you also want to fetch just one record at a time. So fetch one record at a time, right? Now over here what you do is that you execute this, your cursor is ready. Now cursor dot fetch one, right? So this, if you execute it, now first time it has displayed John. Now if you execute again, it will now go to the second pointer. Now just imagine the cursor was initially pointing to the first record, then it went to the second record, third record, like this. It will keep on going, okay, till it reaches the last record like this, Vishal, Krish, and now it will stop, right? Because it has gone to the last record. Now again you have to execute it to make it point to the first record. Okay, now this was pretty much simple. You can also display it in the form of for loops, like if I execute this, okay, and if I do fetch all in list, right, then I'll be getting the collection. I can use a for loop and display all the records. Now the next thing that we are going to do is basically selecting particular rows. Now suppose if I really want to select only some specific rows by some matching condition, can I do that? Yes, we can. So again you have to write this kind of query, select start from student info, where name is equal to Krish. Like suppose I'm specifying that name is one of my feature. I'm just comparing that wherever the name is equal to Krish, I want to get all the records. So once I execute this, if I fetch all the records here, you can see that I have 2 Krish stats, 7 Krish data science, right? This is done. I can also select particular columns. Now, how do I select particular columns? If you remember, guys, in my table, I have name and subject. So what I'm going to do is that I'll say select subject from student info. If I go and select this, you'll be able to see that these are all the subjects. But one problem that you can see over here, guys, it is getting repeated. Can I use distinct to get the distinct columns, right? Sorry, to get the distinct columns info, right? Or rows info, you can also say. So I'll say select distinct subject. And once I execute it, you can see that I have distinct subjects like stats, maths, and data science. Pretty much simple. Every time you prepare the most complex query that you have, put it inside this execute and just execute it. You'll get all the options over here, right? I can also use multiple conditions. Now in this case, you can see that I'm selecting columns also and I'm using conditions. So here I'm writing select name, comma subject from student info where name is equal to Krish or subject is equal to data science. Subject is also a field name, a column name, right? And name. So wherever my name is Krish and wherever the field of subject is actually matching, all the records will be getting displayed. So once I execute this, here you can see I'm having Krish stats, Ankur data science, Paul data science, Krish data science, right? So wherever data science I have, wherever Krish we have, or condition, that both are matching and we're displaying all the records. So like this, you can use multiple queries, multiple things. In order to drop the table, you can just use drop table student info. Okay, if you want to truncate, use that particular command. This is how beautifully, this I love this MySQL with Python, because you will be able to do whatever things in MySQL, you can definitely do it over here. So for the people who are actually working in databases like MySQL and all, if you are very good at that, I think you can do a whole great deal of work. Now one more thing, guys, many people are saying, Chris, show us how to load it in Excel sheet, how to load the data from CSV to databases and again back. Don't worry, guys, I will come up with everything as I told you before. Just let us start with the basic things, and once we go, we'll be learning all these things. Again, guys, this whole video, this materials will be uploaded in the GitHub. Please do check the GitHub link in the description. And yes, just try it by yourself, right? Try it by yourself, but make sure that you start from the first video that I have created. If you're new to this particular channel, please do subscribe it. And yes, I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day. Thank you and all. Bye bye.